Hey everyone, it's me, Aaron.
And I'm Michelle.
And this is our post-Geekout reaction for Netflix's Castlevania as part of our 31 days of Thorgiween. In case you guys missed it, every single day this month, in honor of the greatest holiday of them all, I'm going to be doing either a review or a post-Geekout reaction for something scary and spooky. And you guys have been very supportive. You guys have been really looking forward to this. I just want to say I love you all for that, but sometimes I fucking hate you guys for this, and I'm going to tell you why. I said I would either do a review or a post-Geekout reaction each day for something. And for anybody who doesn't know the reviews, I sit down, I type it all out, I get clips, I go in there, I edit it all together, I make sure it looks nice and professional. The post-Geekout reaction is just our open, honest discussion about the thing that we just watched, and that does include full spoilers, but I was going to do one or the other. I didn't know what you guys wanted me to do, so I asked on Twitter, which one would you rather me do? I'm not kidding you. That was the end results. 50-50. Exactly. 50% of everybody was like, oh yeah, I want the spoiler talk. 50% was like, no, give me the professional review. So I'm doing both. Oh my god. I'm doing a video a day this month. I don't have time to be doing two of these things, but whatever. You guys want it, and this show is damn good, so I'm willing to do it. So here we go. All right. So just to start off and let you guys know, I probably played Castlevania when I was a kid, because back when I was a kid, it's not like there were like 10 big releases every single week like there are these days. It was like there's one game a month that comes out. If it's a big one that everyone's talking about, you'd probably go to the Blockbuster and rent it. So I'm sure I played it, but honestly it didn't have much of an impact on me. In fact, I'm positive I did play it, because I've watched other people play through it and thought, oh yeah, I remember how freaking hard this was. I definitely did not finish the game. I remember this game being insanely tough. But that's all I remember about it. I don't remember the monsters, I don't remember the Belmonts, I don't remember the story of it at all. But in all honesty, back in those days, there wasn't much story in these games. Like, the Castlevania games, I looked it up before we started doing this, just to make sure that I didn't get that one guy in the comments going, well, actually, the Castlevania games actually... Around the third game, which is what this show is actually based on, that's when it started getting a little bit deeper into the story and stuff. Although, I've always wondered, how in God's name was Dracula the villain in every single one of these games? Like, if they're all supposed to be like in some kind of an order, like I believe that 3 comes first in the games, like it's supposed to be the prequel to all of it. So it's like, okay, that makes the most sense why they would base the movie on that. I mean, it's a movie. It's a freaking movie. That's why they would base this show on. But it's so weird to me that Dracula just kept coming back every single time. But that has nothing to do with this. I just want to let you, I just want to let you guys know why I might not be referencing the game all that much in this. We're just going to judge this solely as its own thing. And just judging it solely as its own thing, it's damn good.
Yeah.
It is one of the most impressive things I've seen on Netflix. And it's easily the best adaptation of a video game we've ever gotten in anything. But I will just say, I find it very interesting to say that this is the best adaptation we've got of a video game, because everybody always says, well, there's never been a good video game movie. This was supposed to be a movie. This was actually written to be a movie long ago.
Yeah.
And they actually just picked it up and just dropped it down into the TV slots. Like, they almost did no modifications to this. What they wanted the movie to be, they wanted it to be like a big trilogy.
Yeah.
And they wanted, like, the first one to basically be nothing but the prequel to the game.
Like a setup.
They described it as wanting it to be like Lord of the Rings. You know how in the first Lord of the Rings film, it's basically about all of them just coming together.
Right.
And then it's like, all right, second episode, that's the quest. Third episode, third movie, that's when they all have the big conclusion. And Lord of the Rings, I'm like, okay, I'm fine with you doing that for that one, because you still have those big moments like, you know, Gandalf having to confront the Balrog. And it's like, okay, so that's a big epic moment. Here, if I had seen this in theaters, I would have been pissed. I would really have been ticked off if I was like, that's it? That's where this ends? With them just all going, okay, well, cool, let's go out and fight Dracula now.
Like, also, Lord of the Rings is based on a book trilogy, so of course you're gonna have to have 3 different movies with...
Also, you can, like, kind of, like, yeah, exactly, when you go, hey, why did it not have more happen in the first film? Well, that's what happened in the books. Okay, I guess, whatever. Here, you don't really have that argument.
Yeah.
In fact, that is one of the kind of weird things about this, is that Castlevania, it is known for all the crazy monsters that are in there. It's practically a graveyard smash. I don't know why I referenced that out of nowhere. But yeah, it's known for all the crazy monsters it has in there. And as I was watching this, I was like, man, I love so much about this. But the monsters are really basic that they fight in here.
Yeah.
It's either the bat demon or it's the wolf demon. And then at one point he fights a giant cyclops. That's it. And you think about the games have the floating Medusa heads, you've got Frankensteins, you've got skeleton warriors, you've got zombies, you fight death in the games. It's like, okay, so are all of those just going to be hanging out at Dracula's castle? Because that's the thing, in Lord of the Rings, you still fight orcs. They were still there, that was still a thing. But yeah, so it just kind of feels weak to me that they didn't have a wider variety of villains in here. But aside from that, that's really my only complaint with this.
Yeah, it's it is a great setup, but it's disappointing that there isn't any more.
It's an amazing appetizer, but there is no main course to this thing.
This feels more like a pilot episode, like an hour-long special pilot episode to a series.
It really does.
And I was hoping it was going to be like that, but no, it's not.
It really feels like, because this is, every single one of these episodes, they're roughly 25 minutes, and you've got a minute's worth of trailer of credits there at the end of every single one. So it feels like Netflix could have just made this an hour. I will be real lenient with them and even go with an hour and a half. You could get this down to an hour. But if you made an hour and a half Netflix original movie that was basically the pilot episode for the upcoming series, great, done, totally there. I had no idea this was only 4 episodes when I started watching it. So when it gets to the end of it, I was just like, What? Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I literally searched around Netflix to see if the rest of the episodes were hidden somewhere on Netflix. If it was Castlevania Season 2. No. New Castlevania. No. Okay. I had to search on the internet. It's this isn't so do the rest of them come out next week? Is Netflix now doing a weekly thing? Because I always like being able to binge watch on Netflix. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. That was just that was it. Enjoy. But as I said, I'm really glad they decided to turn this into a TV show because, yeah, man, audiences would not have been okay with this in a movie. And also, if this was a movie, the animation in this is stunningly gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
If this was a movie, they would have cut that budget so hard. All this would have looked cheap. And they will be well, this has to be a hard R. You're saying the F word in here a lot. And you're having a ton of blood all over the place. PG-13 would probably give us more money, so let's tap that down. The fact that this goes so hard into our territory is one of the things that makes this so amazing. Is that you watch this and you're they're not going to do that. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. The moment in episode 1 when blood starts just raining down on people, and then you just see the demons come down and they're not afraid to just tear people apart, it was shocking. I was not expecting them to do that. I mean, even after seeing Lisa get burned at the stake, I was that's probably the most gruesome thing that's going to happen in here. Not even close. I mean, in episode 4, when they have the bishop in there, and that demon just comes in there, that whole sequence, I can't even imagine them allowing that in a movie. Even if there were no curse words and you don't see him eat that guy up close, they just tease it so hard. And also all the dialogue that he has in there about God, that's another thing that really kind of impressed me about this, because in entertainment, and especially in American entertainment, religion and especially Christianity is a very taboo thing.
Yeah.
It's you can mention it exists, but you can't really question it. You can't really go in there and treat it you can't have a horrible monster come in there and basically go, none of the things you believe are real. You can't do that. That's one of the reasons why I've always pointed at The Exorcist being such an amazing film, is that, spoilers for The Exorcist, But at the end of that thing, 2 priests go in there, and you're like, all right, they're gonna save this girl. One of the priests dies immediately. It was like, oh shit. God ain't working, and that's all we had. So yeah, that whole exchange between the demon and the bishop in there, in which he was like, this is the house of God. This is an empty box. I was like, holy damn, that is a good line. There is such amazing dialogue in this film. This whole film, goddamn, I'm gonna keep calling it film, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is so much great dialogue. This was written by Warren Ellis, who is a comic book writer. And I don't know if he's really done a lot of television or movies. I've never looked into it. I thought he was just a comic book writer. But he's always been known for pretty damn good dialogue. And yeah, this is some of the most Warren Ellis-y dialogue I've ever seen. And it's also some of the most Warren Ellis-y characters I've ever seen. Because he's known for writing, like, losers, I guess. Like, I don't want to say that, but like...
Like underdogs?
No, like, really damn cool losers. Like... And Trevor Belmont in here is the most Warren Ellis-y guy I've ever seen. Like, I'm Trevor Belmont. I fought fucking vampires. Like, that's a character that Warren Ellis would write. No, Warren Ellis would write that guy right before he gets kicked in the nuts. Like, the moment in which Trevor Belmont goes, would you kindly please leave my testicles alone? I was like, that's a Warren Ellis line right there.
That's another interesting thing about, like, this Castlevania series. Like, usually Simon is the one who's like
he's the one, the first one, I believe.
Like, he's the one that most people remember in the Castlevania series, so I was kind of surprised that he wasn't in this one.
Yeah, like I said, again, I don't know much about the Castlevania, like, games themselves. I only really played some of the first ones. I don't even remember which one it was, but if memory serves me correct, the third one is, like, the prequel that is, like, the first time that Dracula rises up. So that's why it would make sense for this to be the one that they adapt. But yeah, Simon is like, I was like, okay, he's a Belmont. And then when he says Trevor, I was like, wait, who is Trevor? Simon is the one I always knew. Although I mostly know him from the song. But yeah, Trevor is in there. Alucard I knew. I had no idea who Sifa was. In fact, I'm even having to look at her name on my phone right now because I keep forgetting it. But yeah, the whole thing about the Seekers, like, I definitely didn't play 3 because I would have remembered some of that stuff. I don't remember that at all. So yeah, I found it really interesting, the cast of characters they decided to go with in this one. But yeah, Trevor, it was so interesting that they put him in there because, yeah, again, I remember Simon. I don't remember much about Trevor, so I'm kind of like, was he kind of a loser in the games? Because from what I've seen of these games, Trevor was basically copy and paste Simon from what I've seen. But yeah, so I love that they were not afraid to come in here and just go, we're just going to invent these characters. Like, we don't care. And I haven't heard any Castlevania fans mad, like, what did they do to Trevor? They're just like, yeah, okay.
I think that's probably another reason why they didn't choose Simon. It's like, there's like expectations for the character.
Oh yeah, you can't do that to the first guy. Yeah. I guess that makes sense, yeah. So again, that's kind of a smart move on their part. But yeah, I also love how absolutely different everyone is in this. Because at the end of it, in episode 4, when you've got everybody there, Alucard and Sifa and Trevor are totally different characters. And I love seeing all their interactions. And I think the acting in here, a lot of the acting is kind of flat, but it's flat in a weird way that kind of works, I think. Like, Trevor is flat, and it just makes him sound like, I just don't care about any of this shit, whatever. Which is like, yeah, that's his character. Alucard is flat, but he's flat in a way that makes him sound like dark and mysterious. I was like, okay, that works for his character. Dracula is flat, but he's flat in a way that makes it sound like he's just constantly holding back like a wave of anger. So it's like, okay, cool. It's weird that no one really emotes except for the supporting characters, but it makes the main characters even cooler in my mind. The only one I don't really like the actor for some of the times is Sifa. Like, I don't know why. There's just some reads on her part that I just don't think are that good. But there are other reads on her part that I think are really damn good. Like, in episode 3, when she shows up to save the day with her magic, I was like, okay, she's actually pretty fun now. She's actually pretty enjoyable. And her exchanges with Trevor are great. Like, in episode, was it episode 3? They do all blend together. It doesn't matter. But after he saves her from the Cyclops, she was frozen down there as a statue, and he was, like, jumping all around her. And when he killed the Cyclops, she was freed. And she just goes, "Did you climb on me?" I was like, that was actually kind of a good read. I like that. So I'm back and forth on her. Sometimes I really like her, sometimes I don't.
It's like, I'm glad you mentioned like the subtlety of the main characters in contrast with the side characters, because it makes you realize that, yeah, shit's gone to hell, so of course everyone's gonna be crazy. You're gonna need someone who's calm to save the day.
That's a really good way of putting it. Also, it adds so much flavor to this world to have those characters like that. Because, yeah, to me, when we finally get introduced to Trevor, and he's in that bar, and it's just a bunch of, like, drunk assholes in there. Just, I came from shit, you came from shit, we all came from shit. But they're the rich ones, they're the ones above us all, they're the problem with all this. And I was like, goddamn, England is exactly like the place I grew up in the South. We're all the same no matter where you go. There's always going to be drunk people in bars complaining about the people above them. Yeah, I love that. It's like, okay, there's like a class system here, and the people below Trevor are really pissed about it, but we see Trevor sucks, like, Trevor just sucks. Like, you hear them talking about him like he's some big, rich, hoity-toity guy, and then you see him over there, it's like, oh, God, I just need someplace to crash and take a piss. That's all I need. I was like, God damn.
It was like, the Belmonts in the, I don't know, like, if this is accurate to the game, but in the series is like they were like, you know, obviously they were monster hunters, that's part of the game, but like they were eventually like cast out because people started believing that they were associated with black magic.
Again, I have no idea if that's part of the game. So, I mean, it's cool for this show.
Yeah, but it's like, that would explain why Trevor is like so down on his luck and everything.
Yeah, I like that touch too. That's like, this guy has worked his ass off to fight demons, and everybody's like, go fuck, we don't want any of this, get out. Yeah, and yet he keeps doing it because that's the job of his family. It's like, it does say a lot about his character in here. But talking about characters that this show says a lot about, we're skipping a big one. We haven't yet to talk about Dracula in this.
Yeah.
It is stunning to me that they spent an entire half hour, the entire first episode, just setting up the villain and his motivations. Like, again, another reason this would not have worked as a film, because no like studio executive would have gone, it's gonna be half an hour before we even meet the protagonist. Are you nuts with this? But even talking about as a show, again, I can't imagine any TV executive going, you don't want our hero to be in the first episode at all? But it works in here because, yeah, man, it is stunning to me that they found a way to take the Prince of Darkness and make you go, he's kind of got a point.
Yeah, I feel like if this was actually made for a movie or something, there would be a narrative, like basically just exposition.
Okay, yeah.
Exposition of why Dracula is pissed off at everything, and it's like, and then it just cuts to.
Yeah, they wouldn't want to show that. Plus, they would also they would not have mankind's stupidity be the motivation for Dracula turning evil, because then it's like, well, that makes man look bad. Also really makes Christianity look bad. Which again, as I said, they would not do that in a mainstream film. God, can you imagine the backlash that this thing would have gotten? Because, yeah, I love that Lisa. The fact that she goes into Dracula's headquarters, his home base, and she does not give a shit about him. She's just like, get your big scary ass away from me.
It's like, I want to be a doctor. I want to help people, and you have the technology and medicine to teach me. Because pretty much, this is the 1400s, everything was backwards, backwards, and everyone was like relying on religion for everything, even though it's not the answer to everything.
Yeah, exactly. You can't pray disease away, that's basically what she was saying. And by the way, I gotta make it clear, I have no problem with religion at all.
No.
Any religion. We've just been bad-mouthing it for like the past half hour, so I had to come in here and make it clear.
No, it's like you said, it's like when you rely too much on religion, and you end up being blind to everything around you.
Which is what she was basically saying. She's like, yeah, these people, like, they need to be educated. They need to know science. You have science. We can help them. And I love that she's just like, yeah, man, I don't care what they say about you. He is an actual factual vampire with hell powers. And she's like, there's a scientific explanation. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. So I love that the moment they get together, you can feel that chemistry. You can actually feel Dracula himself falling in love with her. Like, it's only like a 5-minute scene, and you can feel him kind of like going, oh, who's this now?
So you're different from the other humans.
You're not like all the other girls. You see me for me. But yeah, so I love that. Only to then skip ahead and it's just like, nope, mankind being dumb meat monkeys just decide, well, science is a work of the devil, and they're just burn her. And I love that she, like, to the end is still, like, asking him, do not take revenge on them. They're just stupid. Keep trying to educate him. And, which leads to another great line in here. That priest is so fucking evil. The bishop,
yes.
I mean, he is so goddamn evil in this thing. That line from him about, like, I believe she's asking Satan not to take revenge on us. It's almost commendable. I might say a prayer for her. A small one. It's like, God, you piece of shit. God, I love how evil they shoot him, too. As we said, the animation is amazing in this thing. That scene in, like, the beginning of the 4th episode when that demon comes in there and he's just got red lighting all around him, those beady little eyes. God, it all looks gorgeous. But speaking of gorgeous animation, when Dracula comes in and he just bursts into flames and comes up there and he is just a huge, like, mountain of skulls on fire. God, you kind of want to root for him because he was doing okay. He spent 20 years being okay.
Yeah.
Getting better, trying to help humans, walking the earth as a man. God, and then for that to happen, you can't help but kind of be like, yeah, fuck them up, Dracula. You get them. And even then, even after everything that happened, he still goes, I'm going to give you 1 year to get the fuck out of my sight. So even after everything that happens, he still gives them one more chance.
And of course they fucked that up too.
Granted, a big chance. It is a get out. Get to where I never have to see any of you ever again. So it is asking a bit much, but after what they did, it's like, the fact that he still gives them a year is like, God, Dracula has the patience of a saint on this one. It is just stunning to me that they took Dracula, the king of darkness, the prince of evil, they took him and made him the most sympathetic character in here, and then they took Trevor Belmont, the guy we're supposed to be rooting for, and he's just a douche. He is just a straight-up a-hole in this. It's an amazing dynamic to have in this. I was really just, I know I've said before, but I was blown away by just the characters in here. Every single character in here is so damn good, and they're all so incredibly well written. And the animation, as I said, the fire skull thing was great, but when he actually decides to rain down on them after the year's up, and you just have his face form in the air out of bats. Just a big wave of bats spiraling around. I was looking at that like, how on earth did you get that done? Like, how did you animate this? It's incredible to me that Netflix, sometimes their animation looks horrible on their original shows, and then other times it looks incredible. Because I keep thinking to myself, why would Netflix cheap out on anything when they know they're capable of doing this? Like, I guess they have to, like, save up for the big things. But this is clear, this is one of those things where it's like, we spent money on this. We have other animated series out there that are 13 episodes long. This one's 4, so we cram the budget of 13 episodes into 4. Which is actually kind of a smart move on their part, because it's not like they're selling commercial space on this. It's really, they're just trying to sell subscriptions. 4 episodes of Castlevania will get you as many subscribers as 13 episodes of Castlevania would, so if you can cram the budget of 13 episodes into 4 episodes and get the same effect on your end, it's not a bad idea, honestly. It ticks me off as a viewer that I only get 4 episodes, but in all honesty, I'll take 4 damn good-looking episodes as opposed to 13, okay, good-looking episodes, if I know that in a year I'm getting another 4 damn good-looking episodes.
You think that's going to happen? I mean...
It is getting a season 2. They have confirmed that. And when they confirmed that, I was like, you're damn right you're getting a season 2. I will go down there and I will find some people to flash animate my fan script for season 2 if you don't actually make one. Which my fan script would suck since I don't know anything about this franchise. It would just be Trevor talking about beer while fighting Medusa heads. That would be it for the entire thing. It's like, that is all I know about Castlevania. Whew. Take it. Yeah, I'm not good at pitching stuff. So, yeah, anything else you want to add here? I feel like, I know we're already like over half an hour into this thing, but typically for a TV show, I go like 2 hours on these.
Well, the thing
is,
it's
4 episodes.
Yeah, it is just 4 episodes, and like you said, we're not very familiar with the game it's based off of.
I can't really talk about like the stuff I want to see pop up or anything. It's like I don't know how the speakers really play into the games or anything. The speakers I thought was alright, but yeah, when they actually meet like the one who's going to team up with him, who again I keep forgetting her freaking name because like she was not a main playable character in the game. Sifa. Alucard was a playable character. Trevor was a playable character. Again, I don't remember her at all. But yeah, she's really the only one of the characters that I kind of had any problem with because I think half of her lines were a little bit awkward, but then again, the other half were damn good. And I've talked to other people about this. I think I'm pretty much alone on that. I think most people really liked her. There were a couple moments in here where the lines were a little bit odd. Like, it kind of made me look at Warren Ellis and think, are you okay, man? Are you alright? Because there was that one line where Trevor was like, I don't give a shit about you speakers. I'm just going out there to find some beer. And then Sifa goes, I could pee in a bucket and tell him it's beer. And I was like, that was a really weird line, Warren. Something you want to tell us? Although the next line after that was amazing of the, Sifa, he's rude. And I was like, I love the fact that he just rescued her from a giant cyclops. And that's still just her reaction of, he's rude. That's one of my favorite lines from her in the entire thing. And I will also say, we haven't talked about this, but the fight between Alucard and Trevor, as much as I want to say, this thing is missing the main course, that's a pretty good substitute for a main course. Like, if you have to go out on something at episode 4, that's something pretty damn good to go out on, because that animation was gorgeous. And again, I love the differences in these characters. And I love how you got to see that play out in that fight scene.
Yeah.
I love that, you know, Alucard is just all like, very elegant, almost like he's dancing in the air. Everything is coordinated. Trevor is just swinging that whip around like crazy. And he still knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Like that moment when she like just slid his like finger into it and just like came up and smacked him in the air. That was gorgeous looking. But the fact that he will kick him in the nuts and goes, this isn't a bar fight, have some dignity, and then he punches him in the face with his nose, headbutts him. I'm running out of words. I'm recording an episode a day, did I tell you guys that? We're a week into this thing, I'm already running out of steam. This was not a smart plan. Anywho, anything else you want to add?
No, you pretty much said everything, so.
Yeah, sorry, I went back and watched this again right before we recorded, but for most of what we've been talking about, we've been going off of memory, but it's shocking to me how much of our memory holds up here. Like, this thing really did make an impact. So, I am really looking forward to it. The only real complaint I have is, where's the kaboom? There was supposed to be an earth-shattering kaboom. It is kind of cheap that this just ends at episode 4, but as I said, if that's the sacrifice I gotta make to have this thing look this damn good, I will take it and just be patient. But thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you thought of Castlevania in the comments down below. And I am going to have the official review going up later today. And it is going to be way more coordinated and sound way better. And I will not be nearly as mushmouth. I screwed up me saying not nearly as mushmouth. I have to point that out. So thank you guys for tuning in. And as always, we are doing these every single day this month. Dear God, what did I get myself into? But thank you guys for tuning in. Come back next time. Bye.
Bye.